Life is not what you think. It's not a straight line full of obligations and limitations. Life, in fact, is a game with rules where you are the only one responsible for choosing your destiny. Throughout your journey, you may have been conditioned to believe that you are simply following a path, but in reality, you are participating in a game. The question no one has asked you until now is, are you really playing, or are you being played? The difference between these two paths is everything that defines your future. Those who play with intention, with awareness of their choices, become the masters of the game. But those who don't realize they are in a game become mere extras, or as they say, NPCs, non-playable characters. They have no control over what happens to them. They simply react to what others do, living a reality that is not their own. Now think about it. Every choice you make, every thought that crosses your mind, all of this is shaping you and guiding you, as if it were a pre-established script. But perhaps you're playing on autopilot without realizing it. And if that's the case, understanding that life is a game and that you are the only player who can change the script is what changes everything. The time you lose, without realizing it, is what moves you further and further from the life you truly want, because every moment, every detail is a move. And that move, that action, is in your hands. Either you choose to become the protagonist of your story, or you'll be carried by forces you don't even know exist. Because the game has already started, and if you haven't noticed yet, you're wasting time. This is like an awakening because when you understand you're playing a game, you start playing to win. And that's what defines everything. When you understand that life is a game, you realize that every move matters. Every choice, thought, and action you make isn't just passing by. They are constantly shaping the scene around you. And here's something fundamental. The energy you emit to the world creates and determines your reality. We are talking about a physical and universal principle, recognized from ancient teachings to the latest discoveries in science. Energy is constant, but its flow and direction depend on how you choose to direct it. Every thought you feed, every emotion you carry, every action you take generates a wave of energy, and that wave doesn't disappear, it spreads. Over time, your energies create patterns, cycles, and responses. It's a natural dynamic, as constant as gravity keeping you anchored to the earth. And this is where the concept of karma comes in. When we talk about karma, we often think of a simplified idea of action and reaction. But karma goes beyond a simple concept of punishment or reward. It's a constant exchange of energy. What you give to the world, what you emit, comes back to you. In other words, every action has a reflection, and often the effects of that reflection are deeper and longer lasting than we realize. It doesn't have to be something grand or immediately noticeable, but over time, the energy you plant takes root and reflects in your reality. If you sow negativity, negativity will inevitably grow around you. If you plant light, love, and compassion, those qualities begin to materialize in surprising ways. This exchange of energy happens on all levels: physical, emotional, and spiritual. The tension you carry in your thoughts, the anger you fuel, the judgments you make, all of this creates a network of vibrations that, sooner or later, reflects in your life. The beauty of this is that you have the power to change this network of vibrations at any moment. This becomes possible when you become more aware of your emotions and actions, and as a result, you begin to change the way your energy is transmitted to the world. So, as we're saying that life is a game, the difference between advancing in the game and staying stuck is exactly how you deal with the energies you receive and those you emit. The game of life requires a deep understanding that, contrary to what many believe, we are not victims of circumstances. We are active participants in creating our path, and the simplest way to change the reality around us begins with changing the energy we choose to radiate. Now that we understand how the energy we emit shapes our reality, it's time to take an even deeper step. Sometimes, even with all the intentions and efforts to change reality, nothing seems to truly change. The answer to this lies within your mind. Most of your life, your choices, and your actions are shaped by an incredibly powerful force, your subconscious. The conscious mind, the one you use to make daily decisions and solve problems, represents only a small fraction of who you are, about 10% of your total mind. The rest, the 90% that governs your behavior, thoughts, and beliefs, is hidden in the subconscious. And that's where the real power lies. What you call reality is actually a projection of the patterns and beliefs your subconscious holds. It operates so silently that you probably don't notice its influence. But believe me, it's the key to changing any aspect of life. Your subconscious is like the programmer behind a game. It stores all your past experiences, everything you've learned, all the beliefs you've adopted since childhood. For example, if you grew up believing that you don't deserve to be successful, that belief, stored in your subconscious, will sabotage your conscious efforts to achieve success. Similarly, if you were taught to fear failure or believe the world is a hostile place, your subconscious will tirelessly work to make these beliefs true, guiding your actions and decisions in a way that confirms those ideas. This process is like autopilot, which, without your conscious consent, is driving most of your life. You may even feel like you're in control, making decisions at every moment, but the reality is that without a deep understanding of how the subconscious operates, you're, for the most part, guided by these forces. So the secret is to understand that to advance in the game, you need to reprogram your subconscious. When you start to notice the influence your subconscious has on your reality, the next fundamental step is to understand the power of imagination. We're not talking about a simple mental illusion, but a concrete, practical, and profound tool that shapes your reality in an incredibly powerful way. Imagination is not something separate from your daily life. It's the key to creating and manifesting the future you desire, and this ability is directly tied to controlling the mind, as we saw earlier. What many don't know is that imagination is one of the greatest drivers of our existence. Everything you see around you, everything that has been created, originated from someone's imagination. Before any invention, discovery, or change, there was a vision, an idea generated by the mind. And the good news is that this very tool is available to you at all times. When you imagine something, you're creating an energetic field of possibilities. Your conscious mind may be limited by your past experiences and beliefs, but imagination breaks those barriers, allowing you to visualize a future beyond the limitations of now. The way you imagine what you want is the first seed you plant in the field of reality. And by focusing your energy on that vision, it starts to take form. What you imagine today is what begins to materialize tomorrow. So, constantly visualizing what you want to achieve is not just a mental exercise, but an active manifestation strategy. This process is not instant, but it's a gradual movement. Just as the subconscious is the invisible foundation that influences your actions, imagination acts as a compass that guides your focus and directs your energy to what you want to create. When you visualize with clarity and emotion, you start attracting opportunities, people, and circumstances that resonate with what is in your mind. So, imagination becomes a core part of the process of personal transformation and reality creation. And over time, this practice not only strengthens your connection with what you want to manifest, but it also makes your perception of reality change because it directly affects the decisions and choices that are now aligned with that vision. Your action becomes an extension of what was imagined, and the game of life transforms into a series of conscious steps toward your creation. As you begin to use the power of imagination to create your future, a crucial question starts to stand out. Where exactly are you directing all this energy and intention? Visualizing the future is a powerful tool, but it becomes even more effective when it's aligned with a higher purpose, something that transcends daily goals and concerns. Here enters the concept of divine design, the idea that every person has a unique mission, a spiritual and existential journey that is theirs and only theirs. When you understand this mission and start living according to it, the game of life gains a new level of clarity and direction. Divine design completely transforms the way you play the game. We are all born with a greater purpose, one that is intrinsic to our essence. Sometimes we are so immersed in the distractions of daily life, societal expectations, and external pressures that we forget this fundamental truth. But just as the mind is the engine of the game, purpose is what guides us, making each choice more meaningful, each action more aligned with our true essence. Understanding divine design is realizing that you are not a passive spectator in your own life. You are the embodiment of a larger mission. This purpose is not something to be found outside of you, but something that already exists within you, waiting to be revealed. And when you align your imagination with that purpose, reality begins to flow more smoothly because you are acting in harmony with what was meant for you. It's not about finding the perfect path, but about connecting with an internal truth that goes beyond societal norms or external expectations. This alignment is essential to winning the game of life. When you live aligned with your divine design, you begin to realize that difficulties are not insurmountable obstacles, but valuable lessons and growth opportunities. Every challenge becomes a chance to validate your purpose and get even closer to true fulfillment. And at that moment, success stops being a matter of luck or chance and becomes the inevitable result of living according to who you really are. This is the point where the understanding of the mind, imagination, and now divine design come together to form the foundation of your journey. And when you realize there is something greater guiding your actions, you start to see that in the game of life, there's no room for hesitation or fear. But there's an even deeper and more powerful dimension of your mind that must be explored, the superconscious mind. Up until now, we've discussed the role of the conscious mind, responsible for daily decisions and actions, and the subconscious mind, which holds our beliefs, habits, and conditioning. But there's a third dimension of the mind, less accessed, but infinitely more powerful, the superconscious mind, where unlimited potential for transformation and connection with the universe resides. While the conscious mind is the starting point for our perception of reality, and the subconscious mind serves as the storage field for all our experiences and beliefs, the superconscious mind is the key to accessing a higher level of understanding. It goes beyond logic and reason, touching the essence of all that exists. It's the source of all universal wisdom, the connection to something greater than ourselves, and at the same time, a part of us that we have yet to fully explore. It's exactly where the answers to all our questions already exist. When you connect with this part of your mind, solutions to your challenges appear more easily, opportunities begin to align unexpectedly, and abundance, in all its forms, begins to flow naturally. This happens because the superconscious mind is in harmony with the universe, connecting you to an infinite network of possibilities. In this state, you no longer need to fight against the current because you're in sync with the natural flow of things. The problem is that accessing this state requires more than just desire or intention. We need practices that help us elevate our frequency, breaking the limitations imposed by the conscious and subconscious minds. This involves mental training, deep meditation, spiritual practices, and a willingness to detach from old patterns. The superconscious mind cannot be accessed through rational effort, but only through a state of presence and trust. It takes us beyond the limitations of matter, allowing us to see reality from a much broader perspective and with transformative power. The superconscious mind is also where true abundance resides. When we align with it, our lives transform because we begin to understand and accept that there is no scarcity in the universe. What is ours is already available, but we need to be in harmony with this flow to receive it. This doesn't mean there won't be challenges or difficulties, but it means that we have the ability to overcome them with the wisdom that comes from a deeper understanding of the universal workings. Even after reaching superconsciousness, there comes a point when you need to delve even deeper into the tools you have to create the reality you truly desire. And energy transmutation is one of those tools. Throughout our journey, we inevitably encounter challenging situations and often negative energies. And this is part of the human experience. However, the real power lies in how we choose to respond to these situations. Energy transmutation is the ability to take this negative energy, whether it's anger, frustration, sadness, or even fear, and transform it into something positive, something that serves our growth and development. Instead of allowing these energies to dominate us, we can use them as fuel to move forward. For example, imagine facing a difficult situation, like an unjust criticism or an unexpected obstacle. Most people would react with anger, resentment, or feel defeated, but someone who understands energy transmutation sees these situations differently. Instead of letting themselves be consumed by the negative, they choose to transform that energy into something that drives them toward positive action. Anger can become motivation, sadness can turn into deep reflection, and fear can be used as a springboard for courageous action. This is a process of self-overcoming. When you learn to transmute the energies that arise, even unexpectedly, you begin to create a reality that is dominated by your ability to adapt and grow. This doesn't mean ignoring or repressing your negative emotions, but rather recognizing that you have the power to transform them so that they serve your greater purpose. And as you do this, life begins to align with you and not against you. This process of transmutation is directly connected to what we've discussed about the superconscious mind. When you access this deep part of your mind, you're in sync with the universal flow. This makes it so that even in the most difficult situations, you can find a way to align your energy with something positive, contributing to the creation of a more powerful and prosperous reality. And all of this is directly connected to the power of your choices, because every moment of your life is a sequence of decisions. Sometimes, these choices seem small, almost insignificant, but they are, in fact, the foundation for the creation of everything you experience. You are not just reacting to life, you are actively creating it, one choice at a time. When you understand that every choice you make has a direct impact on your reality, you start to realize that the game isn't being played against you, but rather with you. You are the creator and at the same time the force that drives your life. The choices you make every day, from what you think to what you say and do, shape your experience. And the power of conscious choices lies in your ability to act according to what you truly desire, not based on what fear or external influences determine for you. Choosing consciously is, in essence, aligning with your divine purpose and the transformative energies you now know how to utilize. When you make choices aligned with your truth, with what truly matters to you, your reality begins to adjust to that new vibration. And the most interesting thing is that the universe begins to conspire in your favor. Opportunities appear, circumstances change, and you start to realize that the flow that once seemed so hard to reach is now within your grasp. What you choose today directly reflects what you will reap tomorrow. And by making choices aligned with your true self, with your greater purpose, life begins to follow a natural course of prosperity, harmony, and fulfillment. No matter how small or large the decisions are, they are always the reflection of your ability to create a life that is true to you. So remember, being the active creator of your reality doesn't mean controlling everything around you, but rather making conscious choices aligned with your purpose, allowing life to unfold in a fluid and natural way. But know that the only moment where you truly have the power to change your life is in the now. The future is a projection of the choices made in the present, but without full attention to the present moment, even the best intentions and decisions can get lost. Living in the now means letting go of the constant worry about what's past or what's to come. The present is the point of convergence between what you imagine, choose, and manifest. And when you focus your energy and intention on the present, you set in motion the transformative power that each moment holds. So always remember this. It's not in the past that you change your reality, nor in the future, but in the now. When you're fully present, your choices become more powerful, your energy aligns more quickly with the universe, and the creation of reality happens with greater ease. Because it's in the present where everything unfolds. It's where the power to change and truly create your life lies. Thank you for embarking on this journey with me. If this video resonated with you, I invite you to like and subscribe to our channel. Share this video with others so they can benefit from this message. And don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts, reflections, and experiences. Thanks again for watching and for joining me. Take care and see you soon.